So, it's your boy, let him know Zoe. I'm back with another video. As you can see by the title, which I think is pretty self-explanatory, I am 25 and I have no friends. Now, I think that as we all age and we all grow up and we have different things going on in life, I do feel that to some degree it's natural for people to grow apart. But I don't really think it's normal for people to kind of feel like they don't have any friends at all. Personally, throughout my life up to this point, I've definitely had many friendships, many people I've been cool with, close with, who we shared common interests and goals and different things like that. But over the years, it just seems like they all kind of like gradually just like fell away from me, or like we grew apart or whatever. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of people who I've been close with since like elementary school through middle school, high school, college. Yeah. So high school, I was having a little bit of difficulty making some friends because I was kind of quiet through my early teen years, and basically before that too, honestly. So when I started high school, I started at a new school in 9th grade. I had actually made it a point to kind of come out of my shell and make an attempt to get closer to people, make more friends, make new friends, try not to depend so much on the people I already knew, because some of them were also there at the high school that I was starting to attend. But it was a pretty big school, pretty big high school, so I definitely had far more people I didn't know than people I did know, so things could still move somewhat smoothly. Yeah, so high school I had a good number of friends. We would have common interests, talk about different things, go out, see each other, like just, basic stuff that friends do. Yeah, I definitely had like a little, I guess you could say clique. And in my opinion, not really, because I'm the kind of person who will talk to anybody, and most of the people I was friends with in high school were the same kind of people who would, basically talk to anybody. So it's not like we were actively excluding anybody from our friend group. Like, we were very inclusive, very cool, very nonchalant. We could get along with anybody. But it just seems like since I've finished high school, well, actually, no. I finished high school. I still had a good number of friends. Some friends from high school, some friends in the college I was attending at the time. Yeah, so I actually did have a few friends that I didn't expect to have after high school as well. There were some people, one person in particular, who I was friends with in a program that we went to that was actually through BOCES. So it wasn't specifically through our high schools, but it was through BOCES. And we met in 12th grade, and we actually were friends for some years after that. But just due to circumstances that made me uncomfortable based on the things that they would say and my background, I was just very uncomfortable at the way that I was beginning to feel each time I came into the presence of this person, and also any kind of mutual friends we had, but more like through him. Like, we had like he and I were friends, and then he would bring around other people he's friends with, and I would meet them, and we would talk and kick it, whatever. But honestly, I just couldn't after a while, I couldn't bring myself to like stick around in a situation that was making me so emotionally uncomfortable. And I don't mean like he was like playing with my feelings or anything like that. It's just like the type of things that they would say sometimes just really, really made me uncomfortable. And honestly, if I'm being specific, one thing that really led me to break away from being friends with that person was their frequent use of the N word, which made me very, very uncomfortable because I am African American, I am black, so I strongly feel a connection with that word, as negative as it may be. But I mean, history is history. You can't change what happened. You can't change the history that's connected to the N word. And so when somebody is using it so freely around me, especially somebody who is not black, I can't bring myself to stay around them. It's just too much for me. And I'm sure some of you are probably going to ask, well, if hearing somebody say that word makes you uncomfortable, why wouldn't you just tell them? And to that, my answer is, if you're friends with somebody and they know that you have personal feelings on a specific topic, but they keep on taking that specific topic and making light of it, how can you call yourself a friend of that person when you know that you're constantly and blatantly kind of picking on something that's like sensitive? Like you can't call yourself a friend of a black person and constantly be throwing the N-word around so lightly as if everything is cool, especially not when you're black. I mean, when you are black, it is kind of different saying that word, but when you're not black, that is something that you really need to just keep off limits, because it does not really matter who says you can say it and who says you can't. The bottom line is, if you're not black and you say that word, it's just a bad look. So that was one friend that I really could not continue to hang with because their frequent use of that word just made me super duper uncomfortable. And just the thought of having to have a conversation about it just kind of made me think to myself, like, wow, like, you call yourself my friend, but I need to tell you to not say this thing that makes me uncomfortable, and you're saying it like every time I see you. It's like, nah, like you're not my friend. Like that just kind of made me start feeling like a token almost, because it's like you're hanging with me, and every time you come around me, I hear this word out your mouth. And I feel like to some degree, I must have said something at some point in the past where it's like, bro, like, come on, like, you can't be saying that. That's not cool. Like, do you see me? Like, do you know who I am, who my people are, what we've been through? And you're making light of that word. That's not cool. So, yeah, needless to say, me and that friend fell out. The last time we actually chilled was about a year ago. And it was fun, but there were moments where I was just like, bro, like I honestly can't believe, like, I really even need to say this to you. Like, it's sad, honestly. Another person that I've been cool with for a very long time, I recently kind of started to fall off with, which really hurt me because we were friends for a very long time. If memory serves correctly, I was actually friends with this person since like 5th grade is when we really started getting cool. So 5th grade, I was 10, turning 11, and like the title of the video says, I'm 25 now. So I've definitely been friends with that person for a whole decade and a half at this point. 15 years later. And so that one, it really kind of like tears my heart that like me and this person are not as close as we used to be. Um, this person is actually one of the people who went to the same high school as me. After we graduated from middle school, we went to the same high school. Um, so he was there while I was kind of like getting acclimated, learning new people and like different things like that. Um, and if I saw him in the hallway, like in between classes, we say what's up, dap each other up, whatever. And yeah, we was cool. But in recent years, like the past like 2-3 years maybe, we kind of just like started like gradually slowing down on the communication, like barely reaching out, barely chilling. The most notable thing that we did the most recently was we went to a concert about 2 years ago, and that was fun. It was a great time. He also brought along some mutual friends that I was kind of cool with. One of them I was meeting for the first time. The other one I had kind of like been knowing for a few years through him. So like it was the four of us. We were all cool. But I was really only like real friends with one of the people in that group. So yeah, but regardless, we had fun at the concert and everything. We would chill. We would smoke, whatever, go out together, do things like that. And we had a great time with a lot of the stuff that we did. But I don't know, it's kind of the same deal. Like as the years have gone on, I guess maybe just different goals kind of split up our paths. So yeah, it's been kind of a long time that I've chilled with him. A pretty long time since I've seen him too. I think the last time I've seen him was maybe last year. Like I honestly don't even remember. So like that right there should tell you like we're falling out. So yeah. And then lastly, one friend I want to talk about that I kind of fell out with is a friend that I met around the same time as the previous person I just talked about. I met this friend in 5th grade also, is when we really became cool. And actually the three of us kind of started hanging out together. 5th grade around that time, middle school, high school. Yeah, the friend that I met the second friend that I met when I was about 11 years old, 10 years old in 5th grade. His father owned a restaurant and we would all like hang out at the restaurant, eat, chill, like free food and all that. How can you turn that down? We're like teenagers. We're all hungry, we're all growing. So of course you're not gonna turn down free food. And yeah, this particular friend, I never really had any like issues with them. It's just kind of the same deal, I guess. It's like after high school, like we kind of just like slowed down our relationship, and it was kind of weird because we were so close to each other, and we would literally be joined at the hip like every weekend. But I don't know. Things change, people change. So what can you do? The only thing in life you should be comfortable with is change. So honestly, I'm prepared for that. I'm ready. And anybody I meet from now on, like I'm definitely gonna be friendly, be cordial, but I'm not gonna really waste my time trying to foster lifelong relationships. Because at the end of the day, that's really not what it's about anyway. It's more about just having a meaningful connection, and that's it, really. It's not about how long you're friends with somebody. It's just about the fact that you are friends with somebody. So it's cool, honestly. Yeah. And then one area I want to get into, which is, in my opinion, kind of like uneasy waters, is friends of the opposite sex. Because some people would say that that's actually impossible. But in my experience, that's not completely true. Sorry about that sound, guys. I'm in a basement, as you can probably tell. Look at this beautiful paint job. Yeah, I'm actually thinking I might change the location of where I record my videos every now and then because that thing is so annoying. But anyway, friends of the opposite sex are something that I feel like it can be possible, but it's very risky because, depending on the depth of your relationship, um, you know, things get involved, feelings, and you do different things and you have different experiences with somebody, and it can just greatly affect your emotions toward them. But yeah. So in my personal experience, I've had plenty of female friends, obviously, and it wasn't all situations where like I was just kind of like talking with them because I wanted to like, like be with them or like get with them or something like that. Like no, like we were like genuinely like cool. Like sex was the last thing on my mind in most cases for a lot of them. So, I mean, of course, like some of them, like you're attracted and you want to do some things, but it doesn't always have to like turn into that. So yeah, I had a couple of female friends in high school. Middle school, not really so much, but I mean enough, I guess. High school, I made a lot more friends, male and female. We had great relationships. We all had fun um, in various things we did, like class, or for the times that we did like link up and like go out. Always had a blast. It was a fun time. Um, I feel like back around that time, it would have been kind of like counterproductive for things to get sexual between me and female friends, because then it would be like weird every time I saw them, and like the vibes would just be off, and that's not what we needed for the friend group. So yeah. But even the girls too that I was friends with, a lot of them I really don't talk to today, and I wasn't like super duper close with them to the point where it like hurts like really really bad, but like nobody's happy to lose friends. I mean, there was a point in time where we were all like this, and now like you text them, you'll be lucky if they reply within an hour. It's like things change, people branch out, and yeah, I can't really be mad. It's just honestly the way life goes, to be honest. So right now, today, in this moment, do I have friends? It's kind of complicated because I have people I'm cool with, but this kind of goes back to the question I asked before. Can guys and girls really be genuine friends and that's it? So in that area, what I'll say is I have a few girls I'm seeing and talking to, whatever. We have good relationships. Everything is nice so far. But yeah, so I guess you could say I'm dating a few girls, but I mean that's really it. I love my family, my cousins, some of my best friends, and I feel like a loser saying that. It's like, oh wow, your friends are your family. Who isn't? But like, honestly, like, family bonds are something that we all need, but we don't all have. So I am very grateful for my family. Love them, my cousins, everything that I grew up with, my true day ones, honestly. So yeah, I'm confident that anything I do in the future, if I find somebody who has similar interests and they're kind of on the same path as me and they have the same goals as me, then I feel like naturally our paths will cross. And if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. You don't want to try to force friendships because that can make them very awkward. You want it to be organic. You want it to be natural. So if somebody's gonna be your friend, then they don't feel like it's forced. You don't feel like it's forced, and you guys are just vibing out together. So yeah, I don't have all the friends in the world right now, but I'm confident that as more time passes and I do more things and experience more life, I'm absolutely gonna meet more people who I share common interests with and things like that. So yeah, even if I don't have all the friends in the world right now, I'm sure that the ones that I will have, the ones I'm meant to have, they'll come. So yeah, I'm 25. I don't really have too many friends, but it's cool. It's your boy. Let them know Zoe. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm out.